Let's get started with our first news. Jon Jones promises to destroy Tom Aspinall after UFC 321. Following Tom Aspinall's unfortunate no contest with Cyril Gane, Jon Jones has once again taken over the MMA headlines. The latest updates surrounding the former champion make things even more intriguing. Many fans were left underwhelmed by Aspinall's performance, and now Jones is looking to take full advantage of that. While some may dismiss his social media jabs as typical trash talk, the fact that Jones officially re-entered the USADA testing pool just a couple of weeks ago proves he's dead serious about returning to action. Just days after UFC 321, Jones's longtime teammate Rustam Kabalov gave an interview to the Russian outlet Oshatika, revealing some eye-opening details. According to Rustam, Jones has been training hard, fully committed to making a statement with his comeback. He's back in the gym every day, telling teammates that he's going to make quick work of Aspinall when they finally meet inside the octagon. Rustam explained that Jones's confidence is on another level right now, constantly reminding everyone that this is his division and he's still the king. During a recent gym session with several Dagestani fighters, Jones reportedly joked around, calling himself Dagestani. He said things like, "I'm the Dagestani gangster. I'm the one, not that bum," clearly mocking Aspinall while showing off his playful but intimidating side. Rustam said Jones often mixes humor with intimidation, and this time was no different. That kind of behavior from him is pretty normal in the gym, he added. Despite all this, Dana White isn't taking Jones's comeback talk too seriously, insisting that it's not even being considered at the moment. But let's be honest, when it comes to Jon Jones, it's never over. He's too big of a star, too dominant a figure to be ignored for long. Whether Dana likes it or not, Bones is coming back, and he's promising to make a statement, starting with Tom Aspinall. Move on to another news. Sean Brady thinks Umar Nurmagomedov loses to Merab again. On a recent episode of the Brady Bag Show, Sean Brady and Joe Pyfer discussed the potential rematch between Umar Nurmagomedov and Merab, and both agreed that Umar might not come out on top this time. Brady explained that in Umar's most recent fight, he showed clear signs of fatigue toward the end of round 3, something that could spell big trouble against someone like Merab. Brady said, "I'll be honest, Umar didn't make a convincing case for himself. He looked tired at the end of that third round. Mario Bautista really made him work, and I don't know if he wins the rematch against Merab." Joe Pyfer chimed in, agreeing completely, adding that Umar didn't look like the massive betting favorite he was supposed to be. Brady continued, saying that if Umar is slowing down after just 3 rounds, there's no way he could keep up with the relentless pace Merab brings for a full 5 rounds. They both highlighted one major factor: cardio. Merab's gas tank is legendary. He just doesn't get tired. No matter how many scrambles, takedowns, or transitions happen, he keeps pushing forward like a machine. And the only realistic way to stop him would be by a knockout. But that's easier said than done. Even the most elite strikers in the division, like Sean O'Malley, Petr Yan, and Corey Sandhagen, have all failed to put Merab away. In contrast, Umar hasn't exactly looked invincible lately. In his last fight, he nearly got caught with a brutal knee that almost knocked him out, and he also had to fight through a nasty ankle lock early in the bout. Those moments of vulnerability were enough for Brady and Pyfer to question whether Umar can survive Merab's pace a second time. Brady admitted that Umar is one of the most technically sound grapplers in the division, but Merab's pace is just different. It's not about skill at that point. It's about endurance and heart. And from what we've seen so far, Merab has both in unlimited supply. On the flip side, we haven't really seen Merab in serious danger yet as a champion. He's been tested, yes, but never truly broken. And until that happens, Brady believes it's hard to pick anyone against him, including Umar. In his words, Merab just doesn't stop, man. He's a machine. I think Umar's great, but I don't think he beats him again. Move on to another news. Demetrius Johnson has shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Islam Makhachev and JDM, and according to him, this matchup could go in one of 2 directions. It'll either be very boring or extremely exciting. It all depends on how each fighter chooses to approach the fight. Johnson said that stylistically, this one has all the ingredients for something special, but it could also turn into a slow, grappling-heavy battle if Islam dictates the pace. He explained that taking on a guy like Islam is a massive challenge, but he respects JDM for stepping up and not shying away from it. Johnson pointed out that Islam is moving up, and in terms of size, they'll probably be pretty even once they're inside the cage. Islam's super good, he said, but JDM's got Craig Jones and Alexander Volkanovski helping him prepare. Both guys who know exactly how to handle that tough Dagestani-style wrestling. Demetrius went on to break down the potential outcomes. It could be very boring, he said. If Islam is able to take JDM down early, get his back, hold him there, and just smother him, he could absolutely do that. He's that good, but Johnson was quick to note one of JDM's biggest strengths: his refusal to accept bad positions. The thing I love about JDM is that he never just stays down. When he fought Gilbert Burns, who's a phenomenal grappler, Gilbert took him down, but JDM immediately worked to get up. He even threw that nasty knee that almost caught Gilbert clean. That shows his mindset. He doesn't accept the position. He's always looking to scramble, to anti-wrestle, to create movement. Johnson also praised JDM's striking, calling his boxing very tight and technical. He said that what makes this matchup so exciting is the contrast. Islam's world-class grappling and control versus JDM's crisp, dangerous striking and relentless determination to stand back up. He ended by saying, "That's why I'm so excited for this fight. We're seeing the best at 155 go up to face one of the best at 170. It's rare that the stars align like this. These are the moments that make MMA so special." For Demetrius Johnson, this fight represents not just a clash of styles, but a clash of eras. A true test of skill, heart, and adaptability inside the octagon. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev recently shared his thoughts on the rumors surrounding a potential matchup between Ilya and Paddy Pimblett. Speculation began to spread that Ilya's next lightweight title defense could come against Paddy, but Dana White quickly shut those talks down, saying the UFC still hasn't decided who Ilya will face next. When asked about the possible fight, Islam made it clear he doesn't see Paddy as a real challenge for Ilya. Islam said that while Paddy has built a name for himself, he hasn't been truly tested against the top-tier fighters of the division. "Man, I don't know," Islam said. "Paddy hasn't fought anyone serious yet. Who did he beat? Tony Ferguson? Michael Chandler? These guys are not at the top anymore." Islam's tone made it clear that he didn't view Paddy as being ready for a title shot, even subtly taking a dig at Chandler in the process. He went on to explain that if anyone deserves the next title opportunity, it should be Arman. "I feel Arman has to be next," Islam said. "This guy deserves it. He made one mistake before. When he was supposed to fight me, he got injured and couldn't make weight, but he's still number one in this division. He fights the best guys, and he's proven himself. He should fight for the title. Maybe Arman, maybe Justin Gaethje, but not Paddy for sure." Islam made it clear that Ilya would likely have an easy night if he ever faced Paddy. "Honestly, it's not a big challenge for Ilya," he said. "He can do some things, but I don't see a big chance for him. Ilya is too complete, too powerful, and too sharp. Paddy hasn't been checked before. Nobody really tested him yet." Islam also praised Ilya's work ethic and how he's handled his rise through 2 divisions, saying that his combination of speed, precision, and confidence makes him extremely difficult to beat. But when it comes to Paddy, Islam just doesn't see the same level. Paddy's never faced someone like Ilya. It's a different level, he added. In short, Islam doesn't believe the matchup makes any sense, not competitively and not for the title. For him, Ilya should be defending his belt against a true contender like Arman, not someone still trying to prove he belongs among the elite. Move on to another news. Michael Chandler is officially returning to competition, but not inside the UFC octagon. It's been announced that Chandler will face Chad Mendes in a freestyle wrestling match under the Real American Freestyle promotion on November 29th. This surprising crossover has already got the combat sports world buzzing, as 2 former UFC powerhouses are set to go head-to-head in a pure wrestling showdown. Chandler confirmed the news himself, sharing the official fight poster on his Instagram story with the classic Eye of the Tiger playing in the background, the perfect track for a comeback moment. Fans immediately flooded social media with excitement, debating who would come out on top in this clash between 2 explosive athletes with deep wrestling roots. For those who may not know, Chandler has a long background in wrestling, competing at a high level before transitioning to MMA. He was an NCCA Division I All-American at the University of Missouri Missouri and has always carried that wrestler's mentality throughout his fighting career. Mendes, on the other hand, was also a collegiate wrestling standout at Cal Poly and later became one of the most dangerous featherweights in UFC history, known for his blend of wrestling power and knockout explosiveness. This matchup isn't about striking or submissions, it's about pure wrestling dominance. Both Chandler and Mendes have elite level takedown ability, explosive transitions, and relentless pressure, and even though both men have been away from the wrestling mats for years, there's no doubt their competitive fire still burns strong. The Real American Freestyle event aims to spotlight elite wrestlers and former MMA stars stepping back into their original discipline. Having names like Chandler and Mendes involved gives the event major credibility and brings mainstream attention to the wrestling world once again. Chandler's choice to compete comes as fans continue to wait for updates on his long-rumored UFC fight against Conor. While that matchup remains uncertain, this wrestling bout is the perfect way for him to stay active, sharp, and in the spotlight. Mendes, who retired from MMA after his stint in bare-knuckle boxing, also seems eager to test himself once more in a competition that plays perfectly to his strengths. Two elite athletes, two former UFC stars, and one night of old-school freestyle action, Michael Chandler versus Chad Mendes promises to deliver a pure showcase of grit, strength, and wrestling mastery. This one is going to be electric. Move on to another news. Alex Pereira vacating his belt? The MMA world is buzzing after Alex Pereira once again hinted at a possible move to the heavyweight division. Following his fiery call-out of the Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane, and even Jon Jones, Pereira said he wanted to make the heavyweight division great again, sparking massive speculation that he's ready to go after a third world title. The reigning light heavyweight champion has teased the move before, but this time there might actually be something real behind the rumors. Number one contender Carlos Ulberg recently sat down with MMA Junkie and dropped a big revelation. According to Ulberg, the chances of Pereira vacating the 205 belt and moving up are very real. He explained that everything right now depends on what Alex decides to do, and what the UFC ultimately plans. If Pereira moves up to heavyweight, Ulberg said he believes the UFC will book him to fight former champion Jiri Prochazka for the vacant light heavyweight title. Ulberg added that the fight between him and Pereira is the true money fight at 205. That's the fight the fans want, he said. That's the fight that defines this division. He went on to clear the air about some recent rumors, including Prochazka claiming that Ulberg turned down a fight. Ulberg denied it completely, saying the story was taken out of context. We had actually agreed to the fight, he said. That part just didn't get out. Eventually, we're going to fight soon. That's inevitable. Despite being excited about a potential title fight with Jiri, Ulberg made it clear that his dream matchup is with Alex Pereira. I'd love to fight Alex, he said. That's the big fight. That's the entertaining one. The one fans would love to see. I'd hope he sticks around the light heavyweight division so we can make that happen. Beating a guy like Alex means you're at the very top of the world. That's what every fighter wants. That kind of legacy win. Meanwhile, reports also suggest that the Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane rematch could be added to UFC 323, which already features Merab versus Petr Yan. Some insiders believe that if Pereira vacates the 205 belt, the UFC could turn the Ulberg versus Prochazka matchup into a co-main or even a main event slot. Nothing is official yet, but if Pereira really moves up, it could shake up both the light heavyweight and heavyweight divisions in a major way. Move on to another news. Dana White has finally reacted to Alex Pereira's potential move to heavyweight, and surprisingly, he didn't rule it out. According to Dana, the idea of Pereira stepping up to the heavyweight division is very possible, which instantly sent shockwaves through the MMA community. After all, Pereira has already conquered 2 divisions in record time, becoming both middleweight and light heavyweight champion in under 3 years. A run at heavyweight could cement one of the greatest legacies the sport has ever seen. The timing of this discussion couldn't be more interesting, as the heavyweight division is currently in chaos following the controversial eye poke incident at UFC 321. Tom Aspinall's fight with Cyril Gane ended in a no contest, and the division has been left hanging ever since. During his appearance on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, Chael Sonnen raised an intriguing point, saying it would make total sense if Aspinall refused to rematch Gane. Sonnen argued that Tom has every right to stand his ground, saying something like, "No, I'm not gonna fight him again." "He's a cheater. He poked both my eyes and ruined the fight. He had his chance." Chael added that it's strange how Gane walked away from the situation looking innocent when he was the one responsible for both pokes. Following that, Daniel Cormier also chimed in, suggesting that December would be the perfect time to run it back. He said November's schedule is already stacked, but he'd love to see the rematch happen before the end of the year. With Pereira now teasing a move to heavyweight, the division's future has become even more unpredictable. His decision could shape the destinies of both 205 and heavyweight divisions. If Alex vacates the light heavyweight title, it could open the door for Carlos Ulberg or Jiri Prochazka to fight for the vacant belt, while Pereira chases his dream of becoming a 3-division champion, something that has never been done in UFC history. When asked directly about the possibility of Pereira moving up, Dana White said, "Anything is possible. I don't really like looking that far ahead, but we'll see how things play out by the end of the year. We've got a lot of cool things coming up in the next several years. Whoever holds that belt, it's a big deal. It's a powerful position in this company." With Pereira's star power, Dana's openness, and the heavyweight division in turmoil, the end of 2025 could mark the beginning of something historic.